Welcome to Smart Brown Voices, your weekly podcast featuring diverse voices from around the world, giving you insights on how others made it big in their respective fields. Now sit back, grab a notebook, and get ready to be inspired. And don't forget to use hashtag #SmartBrownVoices to share insights, moments of wisdom, and things from the show that inspire you. And now, here's your host, social media nerd and technology activist, Mr. Mike Street.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, Mr. Mike Street, and we're back with another exciting edition of Smart Brown Voices. And today, we got to learn how to invest, get our money and our paper together, because in these difficult times of the Trump administration, you need to have some money in your bank account. And I know a lot of you out there are scared to make investments or just don't know anything about it. So we've brought an expert on today who's going to talk to us about investing, and he's actually building a platform to really help educate people out there about everything that they need to know so that they can safely and effectively start investing their monies in places that matter to them. So I get a cookie if I say your name right, but Sukhteh Singh is on Smart Brown Voices today. What's up, man?
What's going on? Thanks for having me.
All right, so give us the lowdown on the platform. You're building a platform called investing.com.
Yes.
So give us, an overview of what that platform is going to be about.
Well, the mission and purpose of investing is mainly to educate and empower, especially minorities in this day and age, to take control of their financial future. And it's a way to empower people and also to encourage people to invest. Many people are scared to invest because of the stock market or because of the media. And this will give them the tools such as coaching with myself and other courses and services that can help them leave a financial legacy. Because a lot of people, as we know, especially nowadays, are scared about the financial future, as you said, because of the new administration, and scared, what's going to happen to their families if they lose their job or if they lose, their income. So
if we look at like the statistics right now, most people have less than $500 in savings in their bank account. A lot of us are living paycheck to paycheck. So talk to us a little bit about how someone like that could get started in making, smart investments.
Right. Well, I was one of those people. So I wasn't born with all this financial investment knowledge. Actually, I was really lucky that my dad was a business owner and he was great with money, and I learned a lot from him. So with someone in that situation, what I would say is basically you have to create a system that works for yourself. So each week, like they say, is you have your paycheck. So you always pay yourself first. So what I tell people, a very simple step is to divide up your money into various categories. For example, necessities, travel, education, fun, etc., and then divide your income up into those little buckets. And again, it may seem like a lot, but again, it's those small habits that really can change your life step by step. The compound effect really does wonders. So that's what I would say sort of the first step is, and realize where your money is going. So on a weekly basis, I still carry around a notepad, physical notepad, not a digital one, that I write where my money goes each day. And then at the end of the week, I said, oh, okay, I spend this much on travel, this much on food. And you really get to know yourself. And it's sort of, with money, you get to really know who you are, and you develop awareness of your habits. So that would be sort of the first few steps I would say to somebody in that situation. And I know it's, a lot of it has to do with psychology, though. So a lot of people are conditioned in certain ways to think about money. For example, in my household, my parents were in the immigrant scarcity mindset because they were immigrants and they didn't have anybody to lean on. So being aware of your mindset is definitely key. So it's 80% of the game, I would say. Everything else you can learn online or through books and through my education platform.
Gotcha. So, you're writing down everything that you're pretty much spending on a daily basis, and then you can start to know your patterns and what you're maybe spending too much money on so that you can try to, correct those habits, right?
Exactly. Exactly. So especially nowadays with, everyone eating out and we have so many luxuries now. We're able to buy anything off Amazon and anything off the internet instantly and get it the next day. And people who spend a lot tend to be, shopaholics. So at least they'll be aware of that and able to take steps to mediate that. And I suggest definitely I don't care if it's 1%, 2%, people say 10%, put X amount, commit to yourself to put X amount percentage of your net income into a savings account that you'll never touch unless needed. So whether it be $5 a day or even $1 a day, something small is just building that habit. You can say, okay, then after 6 months, I'm going to increase it to X amount, and it develops good habits. So that's really the key cornerstone.
And so, what are some good tools out there that people can, start to help budgeting their money out? I've been using like Simple.com because then, like you were saying earlier, it helps me to kind of bucket out, or it helps me to pay myself first. So, I can say every time I get money, put X amount of dollars into, the Mike Street Fund, and then put, another X amount of dollars into, a travel fund or something like that. So, you get with the Simple.com, I can kind of set up different goals
Right.
and different scenarios for myself to pay, and then, go through the bills and kind of clear out all of those other stuff.
So that's definitely a great resource. What I would use is, I'm sure you may have heard of Mint.com. It's a great tool, along with personalcapital.com. Those are sites you connect all your accounts to them, and they'll show you analytics on where your money is going and what you're spending it on. And Mint, you can do something similar, like you said, in terms of savings, saving up for a specific purchase or a trip, or your child's tuition. So those are really two good resources. But a lot of the resources on the web, actually, they just, I would say more than half of them, they just try to sell you something. So I would be really careful who you get advice from. So with another resource that I like, actually, that I go to often is Yahoo Finance, which basically teaches you about the market, and also Fool.com. It's called the Motley Fool. And those guys are really great as they really break down investing and provide useful information that regular investors can use. Because right now the tools are really in the retail investors' hands and the people, who are working every day. A lot of the tools that the 1% have, we have as well now due to technology and the internet, which is fantastic. And so I would suggest go there and just pick up a book from your library. Like there's so much information online. So I would say, get information from somebody that you know and trust and that you've interviewed and asked certain questions about. Because it's definitely, you want to get somebody who's had experience with the ups and downs of handling money. So
say, I'm out there and I have like $1,000 and I want to start making an investment. What would be the steps that I would go through to, invest that money into a good place?
Well, with $1,000, I would say most savings accounts are generally losing money because of inflation. So if you put your money in a Chase savings account, you're getting what 0.1% or something so small. That's essentially you're you're losing money because the cost of everything generally goes up. So what I would say is first learn about um, various investments that suit you. For example, how to open an investment account. Usually that's online with TD Ameritrade or Charles Schwab or E-Trade, and then really get to know the brokerage you're dealing with once you open it, because they provide you with tools such as paper trading accounts that simulate investing. So that's what I would say. The first few steps is really get to know uh, the investment field, especially if you're going to invest in the stock market or real estate. However, with the $1,000, of course, you probably invested in a mutual fund or a specific stock. Now, people say love mutual funds, but a lot of mutual funds they underperform the market. Meaning, if the market goes up like 10%, the mutual fund only goes up 5%. So most mutual funds don't beat the market. They don't beat the market rate. So I would suggest putting $1,000 into like a what they say is a Vanguard uh, all market fund, which is they generally invest in the market over the long term. Their fees are very low. You don't have to go through an advisor, and they have minimums. I'm not sure what the minimum is, but that was probably the first place I would start looking at mutual funds and doing some research on them that would suit your personality.
Why do you feel investing is important?
Well, my background, I'll give you a little bit my background. I was an engineer by trade, and I worked at corporate America at Citigroup, Reuters, and Goldman Sachs. And throughout that time, I was seeing my father, and he had a business and always was very frugal with money and always saved religiously. And so, with investing, I think that I grew up in a way that money is important and you should take care of it. And so it's essential for people nowadays because with the current economic environment and the job situation, as we know, a lot of companies are laying off. I think Macy's and Sears just said they're going to close about 150, 200 stores. So people need to figure out how they're going to generate income. So investing is a way to supplement their current income. And it's great because you can leave your family a legacy, not just in money terms, but you can teach them about finances once you learn them and how to invest properly. Because one of my sort of missions and visions of for myself in my life is to see that the basics of money is taught in every public school in America, which is, I think, definitely needed, which would be um, tremendous for basically children for generations. And so that's why I think investing is definitely a necessity. A lot of people don't like to talk about money, which is not good, which is not productive at all, especially with their fiance or with their partner. And so you really have to get to know your character around money and how you are with it. So
Yeah, like I mean, I feel it's like super important. Like you have to know, like the one of the, something you were saying earlier is like you have your notebook, but for me, I have my mobile alerts turned on for my bank account, and so I see like every transaction. It pings my phone, so I'll see exactly what's happening with me or what's exactly what's going on, and it gives me kind of a mental tally of what's happening through the day or what I spent money on or who's taking money out of my account too. One thing I try to do every so often is go through my account and like kill like all of those reoccurring fee things that you may just arbitrarily sign up for, like things like Hulu or Netflix or things that you're just not using, like Spotify or all that stuff, because you just kind of sit and you forget about it, and then over time it's you spent like $100 on something that you're not even using, where you could have invested that money in some other place that's going to be beneficial for your, financial security and financial future.
Yeah, I've done that. I've let subscriptions just keep on going with me, not even realizing it. And again, it's best thing to create recurring transactions from your checking to your savings each week, or bi-weekly or monthly, so that's automatic, whether it be X number of dollars or X number percentage of your income. So I'm guilty of that as well. Like I've made every money mistake you can possibly make, I think. I've had credit card debt. I've lived paycheck to paycheck. I've lived, a lot of experiences with money, just being in the financial field for I think it's over 15 years now. So it's quite a ride. I would say to people, definitely know yourself. It's easier said than done, though, of course.
And it can be, it can be mentally taxing too, like you were talking about earlier. You have to change your mindset. But sometimes, like for me, I have like student loans and taxes, because when you're an entrepreneur, you have to pay your own taxes 4 times a year and all that stuff. It can be overwhelming. So, any places where you can get like support and help. And, I think a good investment for yourself, especially if you're an entrepreneur, and a lot of our listeners are, is, find a person who can do your accounting and, make an investment in that so that, they make sure that your taxes are paid and, you're getting all the savings from, all of the tax perks that you may, or tax breaks that you might be able to get. Because that's money that you can save for your business and your company and then invest in other places.
Right. Especially with entrepreneurs, you definitely need to create that sort of financial team with a CPA, a bookkeeper, and a lawyer as well, just in case. My father always said that you should always know a few good lawyers always and a few good CPAs all the time. Build those relationships because you'll need them sooner or later in your life. I would definitely say build your team, especially for entrepreneurs who are really bootstrapping it and trying to stretch every dollar they spend on their business. And definitely with them, they should be very financially educated before they even start a business, I would think. I would say definitely. Because know how cash flow works and financial reports and just the basics, which can be learned from a book, or the best thing is to get a coach or somebody online or offline that you trust in your network to help you with that. And creating accountability too, that if you're going to do X, Y, Z with your money each week or bi-weekly, you can create an accountability, a check with somebody that you know and trust is going to actually hold you to it though, and put your feet to the fire and not just let you off the hook. So those are a few things I definitely suggest.
So Suki, investing is in, it's kind of in its beta format. Give us a time frame of when everything that you're putting together is going to launch and when people will be able to use your services.
Well, for investing, it's about by February 14th, it probably will be fully launched. But right now, what I'm currently doing is I'm a money manager by trade, so I'm helping clients do it themselves right now. But now I want to expand the base, as you said, to the investing platform. And but I basically have a few courses, whether it be for beginning investors or advanced investors, and also weekly views on the market and finance in general, along with tips. And my book that I have out that has been on the shelf for a while, and this year I decided I'm finally going to publish it, self-publish it. And so that should be out by March 10th, which is kind of exciting for me. I'll tell about my story and how I've made every mistake, and I don't want other people to make the same mistakes I've done.
Awesome. Well, we'll definitely keep our audience posted on the launch of investing.com and also on your book. because we definitely want to make sure that the Smart Brown Voices community is fully financially ready and educated, because there's a lot of stuff to know, especially with keeping your paper together, keeping your money right, and so that you can really have that financial success, because otherwise it can be a big headache. So definitely follow Sukhteh and everything that he's putting together with his investing platform and his book that's coming out, and and stay aware and focus. So Sukhteh, let everybody know how they can follow you across the internet.
Well, you can reach me at www.investing.co, and my Twitter is at investingco as well. And they can reach me anytime through email, investingco@gmail.com.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being a guest today and giving us some good financial information on, so that we can all be prepared for 2017 and get our paper together. So
thank you for having me. Thank you.
No problem. So we'll make sure we'll put all of your information in our show notes so that people can follow you and check out everything you're working on. So that's it for this episode, guys. Thank you so much for following this show. And we'll be back next time with another edition of Smart Brown Voices.
Thanks for listening to Smart Brown Voices with your host, Mr. Mike Street. If you like what you just heard, we hope you'll leave a review on iTunes and tell your friends and colleagues. Be sure to check out our archive section on our website for previous podcasts, and make sure to follow us on social media. This has been a Mr. Mike Street production. Join us next time for another edition of Smart Brown Voices, and be inspired.